Hey guys, it's AK and welcome back to Alan Wake's American Nightmare. Alright, let's go and talk to What's-Her-Face.
I got a really bad feeling about all of this.
I'm gonna need those keys to the diner now. There's a motel key there that I have to get.
Oh, hey, you don't have to do that. I have the motel master key. I work for the same company, you know. What's at the motel?
Well, there's a dead guy. He's got something I need to get into the Mount Redtooth Observatory.
God, that's awful. Hey, you wanted to know about the guy who looked like you, didn't you?
The last time you said he had a party, but you didn't go.
No, that's not true. I did go. It was really great at first, and then I didn't see it myself, but I hear he turned nasty. He hurt a bunch of guys pretty bad, and there was this girl, she died. But I didn't hear about that until afterwards. I thought that he was so charming.
And then he went to the diner.
That's right. I wasn't involved with that at all. I don't know what happened.
Fine. I need to check out these motel rooms. In the meantime, you stay here, okay? I'm serious. Keep the lights on and stay here.
Yeah, okay. You got it. I sure hope you're right about this.
You're gonna stay here this time, right?
Because the last time I didn't, and that thing, whatever it is, happened to me.
Yeah. I don't want you to get hurt again.
Don't worry, I'm gonna stay put. I don't remember what happened exactly, but I learned my lesson.
Good. It doesn't have to happen exactly the same way this time around. You proved that much when you went out and got those things for me. I think you're gonna be okay.
Let's hope you're right.
Okay, so she's... okay.
This wasn't supposed to happen again!
The memory of her own fate haunts Emma Sloan and fills her with dread. This time, she does as she's told. It's not enough to save her.
Well, shit. Alright, so what door was it again? I need to find the door. This one? Nope. This one? Nope. So if I had to guess, if I had to make a complete random guess here, essentially everything needs to come out just peachy in order for this to end. So that means I got at least another cycle.
It's said that nobody knows what the future might bring, but for this man, it's no longer entirely true. A weaker man might simply give up, but the champion of light is an expert on destiny. Sometimes the puppet and puppeteer can be one and the same.
Alright, so now to the observatory. So it seems for the most part, we just spend all this entire game in 3 locations.
Mount Redtooth, its top littered with man-made eyes that stare into the endless depths of space. Tonight, the champion of light will depend on them to pick out a message from the ether.
Right then.
As history repeats itself, the man remembers the patterns. He knows that he needs the missing part for the telescope.
I better find Dr. Meadows' car. That's where the camera should be.
What about the coolant? Shouldn't I be... okay, I guess. It's a nice touch that Alan will look in the direction... oh my... will look in the direction of the closest enemy. Okay. That's them dealt with. Now what about Mr. Thrower Man? Ah, great. Now double grape. This is not my day. Well, gotta pick your battles, I guess. Alright, come on, buddy. Ah, shit. Okay, I can get in through here. And I can get... I wonder if I can shoot through this. Okay, good, I can. That's much better. That's some actual ammo. Okay. Why did that have a wooden door opening sound effect as opposed to, you know, a metal one? So I believe the car's over this way. They're gonna come climbing out of there again. Ooh, wait, can I actually use this now? Have I got enough manuscript pages for this? Sure. Can't use the scope. Damn. Oh well, okay, so now we just gotta go get the piece. Put in the piece. Then hold out for a bit. And I bet you those spiders are gonna show up again. Or maybe they'll throw a new enemy at me. Wait, this wasn't the car? This is on the way to the car? Where's the car then? Could have sworn the car was here. Unless it moved. Or maybe it's at the bottom. Or maybe, did I go too far? I might have went too far. Maybe it's around the back of here. No, it can't be around the back of that. Or maybe it could be. And this gate's been rammed open. Ooh, manuscript page. Oh, there it is. Okay.
The atmosphere in the projection booth at the drive-in was charged. Almost unreal. Despite that, the air felt cool and refreshing this late at night. It'd been a hot day. The summer was nearing its end. But it wasn't over yet.
Okay, and then the other one.
There are places where our world is worn thin, and another reality brushes against ours. One such site is Cauldron Lake near Bright Falls, Washington. But there are others. That other reality is dark, vast, and malleable, always in flux. In its depths dwell vast forces and alien energies. They're dangerous. But in one of these places, if you know how, you can channel the power of that place and use it to shape reality.
I don't know what that means. But let's keep going. So I'm guessing this is where the car is. Yep, there it is. So it looks like they tried to ram it through something or something like that. The darkness.
The darkness rose from the depths of Cauldron Lake and took Alice. It needed words. It needed me to write its way into our world. She was leverage, a hostage. I complied, but with a twist. I put in a loophole that gave me a chance to fight back. I was hunted by shadowy enemies, but I faced the darkness. I fought it with light. I drove it back. I saved Alice, but it came with a cost. I was trapped in the dark place below Cauldron Lake.
Okay, so that whole thing, like, you know, with Alan Wake 2, it's like the whole, oh, you're gonna return to the real world. Well, given that the dark place makes all this oh, great. Oh yeah, I can't kill these guys with that, I guess. Ow. Okay, these guys are too strong for that, so I'm gonna try something a bit more oomph. And that's a bit more oomph, I guess. You know, they could have made it so that how much health the guys had, like the amount of birds that were left, kind of indicate how much health the guys had. That'd be a cool thing, but I can kind of understand why they wouldn't do that, because that'd be a pain in the ass, and it might run into problems. Visual problems, anyway. I don't think it would run into very many mechanical problems. I would hope. Great! Well, at least this stuns them. Okay, so 4 shots. Alright, cool. Let's just keep moving then.
It's you. How dare you? No, wait. It isn't you, is it? I suppose you'd better come in. I'll unlock the door.
Thanks.
Oh, cool. No need to convince her.
I know what you're thinking. Evil twin, supernatural powers. But most of the time, I just like to keep things basic. I want you to understand that. Like this. Need to get your hands dirty? No batteries, no moving parts, just physics. That's technology you can depend on. It's a classic. Speaking of classics, you need to be careful with this one, though. If the victim suddenly twists, you might end up cutting yourself. It's not really a workhorse, but I'm a sucker for this style. Now this is more like it. You've got slip-resistant grip. Believe me, you really want that traction once you're wrist deep in somebody. The blade's stiff enough so it won't open by accident in your pocket, but it's still really easy to open with just one hand. Now that's a big thing for me. I know what you're thinking. It's too big, too heavy. But sometimes you just need the extra oomph. If you're talking intimidation, this is gonna do the job. Also great for dismemberings and whatnot. You know, the messy jobs. I can't tell you how many things I've MacGyvered with this stuff. Okay, now, guns. Not a big fan. I mean, how are you supposed to really connect with somebody with a bullet? I want you to understand that. I take pride in what I do. We can't both be worthless hacks, can we?
He's a real psychopath. Like, there's crazy, then there's real goddamn crazy.
You'll have to forgive me, but this feels very strange. It seems like this has all happened before.
I have the replacement part for your telescope, Doctor.
All right. Let's get it installed.
Let me heal first. Well, not heal. Refill all my stuff. Okay, so let me guess. Gotta hold out, and then the next time we gotta do, yeah, replace plus So replace plus
I'm
hydraulics
thinking
before we
of
come
this
here.
globe, although I have this strange feeling that something
Don't
will go
start
wrong.
it up yet. There's a problem with the coolant system.
Yes, that's right. I remember. All right, let me think. If they're sabotaging it, they'll be at the primary coolant pipe outside. If you can secure it, we should be ready to pick up the signal. That is why you're here, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I'll take care of it.
Before you go, if you have the time, I'd appreciate if you came up here and explained a few things. All of this is very strange to me.
Okay. I guess plot and such and lore and such. No sound effect of the lift going up and down? Okay.
Hello.
I don't quite know what's going on, but I seem to remember having had this encounter before.
It's not deja vu, Doctor. This has happened before. We're caught in a time loop.
That's utterly insane. How could that be?
I can't really explain it. I suppose I could call it magic.
I don't believe in magic.
Neither do I, but I can't argue with what I've experienced. Listen, what matters now is the signal. The last time we only caught a part of it. I need the rest of it. Whether you believe me or not, you want to look into this as much as I do, right?
Yes. All right.
I realize that you have trouble believing this.
That's an understatement. I can't deny that what you say resonates with me on some level I don't pretend to understand. But for all I know, I'm simply delusional.
But it's not just you. I've experienced the same thing as you. Doesn't that prove something, at least?
Maybe. On the other hand, given your appearance, and the fact that you're trying to convince me that I'm not insane, perhaps you're merely a hallucination that accompanies my delusions.
You're not having a psychotic episode, Doctor. For what it's worth, I'm a skeptic by nature. I completely understand your reluctance to believe me.
There are people caught so deep in their psychosis that they retroactively manufacture memories and beliefs that conform to the situation at hand.
Sure, but you have to stop second-guessing yourself at some point, if you want to get something done.
Oh yeah, just don't respond to that. Yo. Whatever. Whatever. I get it. You don't believe it. You don't believe in magic, do you?
The Taken may well be the tool the darkness favors over any other. At some point, they used to be human, but whatever humanity they once had is long gone. Now they're just shells covered and filled by darkness. The Taken Mr. throws at me are more grotesque and varied than the ones I first encountered in Bright Falls. But I know how to deal with them. I'd be lying if I said they don't frighten me. But I've survived worse. I can't let them stop me.
Well, of course not. You're the main character. Give me a second. Well, he did a bunch of... Okay. Alright, bye. That's a bit problematic. And that makes it a little bit easy, too. Because... typically when you got a horde of enemies coming at you, you want to backpedal.
These beings hate the light, am I correct? You should be able to turn on the lights and secure the area that way.
Doctor, can you hear me? I think we're good to go.
All right, I'll start looking for the signal. Please, head back.
They're gonna throw it at the coolant, ain't they?
I guess they didn't like that.
So it takes only one shot to kill those guys. Oh, but there's one right behind me. There. Yep, I'm just gonna run. Okay.
It's working. Please, come up here.
Oh, no holdouts? That's cool. But let me guess, there's not enough coolant going through because the thing got damaged. Am I right in thinking this?
Find the signal?
Yes, I don't think it's quite the same thing we had, the last time. Still, we're definitely picking it up.
Are we getting the complete signal now?
I'm afraid not. Take a look at it yourself. I'm printing out a hard copy now. I'd like to ask you a question or two before that, though, if you don't mind.
What's on your mind, Doctor?
Most people would find these events extremely disturbing, provided that they survive these creatures, that is. You seem to be quite adept at dealing with the situation. Why is that?
Yes, I was involved in... It's a complex story. I was in this small town, and a horrible thing from another dimension kidnapped my wife and manipulated me into writing this horror story that came true. I learned to fight it with light, and I managed to contain it and free my wife, but I was trapped in its world.
Are you serious?
Absolutely. So, I'm used to reality working in strange or even impossible ways, and I fought these things, not exactly like this, but close enough for a good while now. Of course, I have certain advantages. Was there anything else?
What did you mean when you said you have advantages?
At the risk of sounding like a lunatic, reality is much more fluid than people think. It can be influenced.
I didn't take you for a mystic.
I'm not. I'm a writer. And under certain conditions, I can, for lack of a better word, rewrite reality. Change things.
That's absurd.
But it works.
Assuming I believe this, why don't you simply, I don't know, write yourself some superpowers?
It's not quite that simple. You need to follow certain laws of drama, I suppose. You need to think about consistency and symbolism. Often what you write isn't anywhere near as important as what you imply. There are things out there that will take advantage of your mistakes.
You really believe in this?
Don't look at me like that. You've experienced some of this yourself.
I will gladly admit that something exceedingly strange is going on. But this idea that you're somehow altering reality with your writing is ridiculous. You're essentially saying you're controlling my actions. Leaving aside the rational arguments against this, what gives you the right?
Well, it's more like having a destiny. A path you're on. You're not aware of it, but there it is. If somebody changes it, what difference does it make? It's what every writer does. If you write something that affects one of the characters, they don't really know about that.
I'm not a character. Are you saying that it's all right to take advantage of someone if they aren't aware of it?
Look, all I meant was that if you're genuinely making all your own decisions, and those decisions lead to whatever destiny you have, what practical difference does it make?
I suppose that depends on whether our destinies are determined by things like physics and probabilities, or natural reality, which is presumably neutral and impartial, or by some kind of an intelligence. If it's the latter, that intelligence makes choices based on some criteria. If we suffer as a result of those choices, there's a moral and ethical element involved, regardless of whether we're aware of its manipulations. Wouldn't you agree?
You're taking this very well. I thought you'd be hangry.
I suppose I would be if I thought you could actually do this.
You know, when I played this game this morning, I wasn't expecting a big talk on philosophy and choice. Huh. Okay, let's get the piece then.
Another printout. Another signal fragment. The message is still not complete, but it's another piece of the weapon he has built against his adversary. Mere words on a piece of paper, but in the right hands, they will hold back the darkness.
Okay. That's all the time I got for this episode, though, so thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I will catch you all next time, once also as well we have this whole intro thing, but you get the idea.
The last time the man came to the drive-in, it did not end well. He hopes to avoid that fate this time. He hopes that what he has brought with him to this place is enough.
Okay, so I will catch you all next time. Bye-bye!